The baker had just placed fresh bread into the oven. A mother was preparing breakfast for her children. Merchants were opening their shops. Children laughed as they ran through the crowded streets. It looked like another ordinary morning. No one knew. They were living the final hours of their lives. The city was called Pompeii, one of the richest cities in the Roman Empire, built near the beautiful Bay of Naples. Its streets were filled with life. Luxury villas lined the roads. Markets overflowed with food. Bathhouses echoed with conversation. Theaters entertained thousands every week. To the people of Pompeii, life had never been better. Towering above the city stood a mountain. Its name was Mount Vesuvius. The people admired it. Children played on its slopes. Farmers grew crops in its fertile soil. No one realized it was one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world. Days before the disaster, strange things began to happen. Small earthquakes shook the ground. Dogs barked through the night. Birds suddenly disappeared. Some wells began to dry up. But the people carried on with their daily lives. Earthquakes were common in the region. There was no reason to panic, or so they thought. Then, on the morning of August 24th, AD 79, everything changed. A deafening roar echoed across the sky. People looked toward Mount Vesuvius. What they saw stopped them in their tracks. A gigantic cloud of ash and smoke shot high into the sky, higher and higher, until it looked like a giant pine tree rising above the mountain. Within minutes, ash began falling onto the city. At first, people were curious. Some stood outside watching. Others collected pieces of ash in their hands. No one understood. This was only the beginning. The sky slowly turned black. The sun disappeared. Day became night. The air became difficult to breathe. The ash grew heavier. Roofs started collapsing under its weight. People wrapped cloth around their faces. Parents searched desperately for their children. Families ran through streets they could barely see. Some fled toward the sea. Others locked themselves inside their homes, believing thick walls would protect them. They were wrong. Hours later, the volcano unleashed something far more deadly. A massive cloud of superheated gas, ash, and rock raced down the mountain at incredible speed. It was called a pyroclastic flow. Nothing could outrun it, not horses, not soldiers, not families carrying their children. In a matter of seconds, it swept across Pompeii. The city disappeared beneath burning ash. Silence followed. Where laughter had filled the streets, nothing remained. Pompeii was gone. For centuries, the city lay buried beneath layers of volcanic ash. People forgot where it had once stood. Grass grew above it, fields covered it. Time slowly erased every visible trace. Then, nearly 1,700 years later, workers digging underground made an astonishing discovery. Walls, roads, homes, temples, an entire Roman city, frozen in time. Archaeologists uncovered kitchens where meals were still waiting to be eaten. Loaves of bread remained inside ancient ovens. Paintings still decorated the walls. Even the footprints of daily life had survived. Perhaps the most heartbreaking discoveries were the people. When archaeologists found empty spaces inside the hardened ash, they carefully filled them with plaster. The result shocked the world. The final moments of Pompeii's citizens appeared before their eyes. A mother protecting her child, friends holding each other, a man covering his face, families frozen forever in their last moments. Today, millions of people visit Pompeii every year, not because it is beautiful, but because it reminds us how quickly life can change. The people of Pompeii had plans for tomorrow. Some were preparing for work. Some were planning celebrations. Some thought they had their whole lives ahead of them. None of them knew tomorrow would never come. History often teaches us about kings, wars, and great empires, but Pompeii teaches something different. It reminds us that every ordinary day is a gift, because sometimes the last normal morning of your life looks exactly like every other one.